Huw Irranca-Davies.
First Minister, as you said, so often it is women in the workplace who've been disproportionately at the front end of exposure to the pandemic. They work in retail and care and health and other public-facing roles disproportionately, and in low-paid or casual roles, where sometimes the unionised voice for the workforce can be regrettably weaker. Yet the pressure can be greater to turn up for work at all costs, including personal health and well-being, and the domestic pressures to put food on the table and pay the bills is also acute. So First Minister, as the vaccine rollout progresses, and we can hopefully anticipate more return in the weeks and months ahead to many workplaces, including non-essential retail and personal services and hospitality, where women are overrepresented once again in customer-facing roles, then what more can we do than we did last year to ensure that employers put in place every measure possible to protect their staff and customers at work, and that the UK government and Welsh government have the right measures in place to support those who have to withdraw from the workplace for COVID-related reasons, and not least that the UK government does not cut that £20 a week from universal credit, because that will hammer women at work and at home too.
Well, Llywydd, I'm sure that Huw Irranca-Davies will recognise the actions that the Welsh Government has already taken to protect workforces where women are disproportionately represented. So our decision early on to make PPE available free in the social care sector was a really important guarantee that those workers knew they would have the protection that has provided. As you know, it's charged to care homes across our border, where we made the decision from the beginning that the protection of those workers was our top priority, in getting them the protection they need and getting it to them free was an investment by us in the well-being of that workforce, as is the continued scheme that we have to make sure that people are paid sick pay fully in the social care sector, so that they don't feel, as Huw Irranca said, obliged to come back to work when they know that it's not right for them to do so. And in the retail sphere, where again women are disproportionately part of the workforce, we announced in January that workplaces would have to carry out new risk assessments with higher standards to make sure that workplaces are safe against the new variant of the disease. And we were supported in doing so by employers here in Wales. And those higher standards, making sure that workplaces are properly protected and everything is done to make sure that workers and people who use those settings are kept safe, will continue to be at the forefront of everything that we do as a government during the rest of this calendar year, when coronavirus is still going to be part of our lives. And I'll say again, because I so much agree with Huw Irranca-Davies, the thought that up to a third of working families in Wales could find themselves with £1,000 less to meet the needs of their families, people who use that money to do simple things like keep the lights on and keep food on the table. The thought that this government has kept those families waiting, not knowing what their position would be, it's genuine cruelty. I think if you can imagine living in those conditions and knowing that just in a few weeks' time, you wouldn't have that extra support, I think it's shameful. I really, really hope that on the 3rd of March, the Chancellor will finally make good the distress that has caused to those families.